I've been waiting and you guys been waiting, for me to make this video, to see this video actually, right? So in this video, I'll be talking about, like why, 2021, will be a great year, right? We all know what's happened last year, so I don't need to recap it, something like that. So this purpose of this video is to talk about 2021, right? It looks like it's been a very big turnaround, and I can see that, like lots of, good things are happening, Let me just recap this, in general, right? So 2020, it's obviously been a very bad year, right? For like lots of numerous of reasons, right? But now, this year is like very good, which is a good thing because we need to make up for, for the things that we didn't do last year, or for the suffering that we did last year. So this year is kind of like a makeup year, right? Which is like very good, right? And now, this year for me is actually, been very good. I have not, hear something very bad. Nothing extremely bad happened, this year yet. I know that around like March, or like 2 months into New Year, like 2020 is already, a really terrible year, right? Yeah, lots of good things are happening and things are just slowly turning around. It's actually turning around really fast, right? So yeah, so because we just have to keep thinking positive, right? If we keep thinking positive, and if we keep, like, you'll be optimistic and keep thinking, good things happening, then good things will happen, right? Don't think of bad things all the time and stuff like that. Yeah, we're really, bouncing really hard, this year. Because whatever we missed last year, we will get this year, right? So it's pretty much even out, right? Because 2020, we dropped there, and 2021 goes skyrocket. And then when you add those two together, then it's 50-50. Exactly, man. So what's the good thing, that happened to me so far this year, right? So far this year, I have to start making changes. I have to start, doing more adult stuff, Forget about what happened in the past, No more childish stuff. No more, being the Ovens. No more of that, man. It's time for me to grow up, man. Become like an adult, Become more responsibility. Something like that, right? This time I'll make sure it happens. It's not because I say it, right? I think this is the year, like, yeah, I have to start becoming like more independent, which I'm working on it just this year, right? Yeah, this year, I got a job, which is the number one biggest thing, right? Is getting a job. Yeah, of course, is if you don't have a job, then you're not going to be able to pay the expenses, or buy, the necessity, you need, right? It's based on your common sense, and everybody knows that. Everybody knows that if you don't have money, you cannot buy anything. Especially, like very important, essential stuffs, right? Now, I'm starting, to work on running, and I actually get better too, right? I mean, 2020's. Let me recap what happened in 2020. 2020 is I overtrained myself in running, and somehow, my body gets depleted, and then I just went on, I just totally burn out my body, and I don't run. I run like a lot slower than before, but now, 2021, like I've been learning like a lots of, past mistakes, and so when I keep looking at those mistakes, I realize that, like, yeah, I better make changes, like learn that mistake, remember not to do it again, and turn that, to the motivation, and keep working, right? Yeah, because I think like beginning of this year, I run really slow. I get like over 5:30 mile, and now, in a matter of like 2 months or less than 2 months, like I'm almost subbing a 5 minute mile. So I'm recovering like really quick, from my overtraining, right? So my worst mile time is 5:30, but now it gone within like 10 seconds now. Now it's like 5:08 or even faster. So I cut off like a 20 seconds, off of my mile time in 2021. Like this is just 2 months alone. This is not a whole year thing. So I'm recovering very fast, and also I get smarter. I keep track of my heart rate. I do like various things, like how to keep my running, very soon stuff. I'm for 100% of a doubt, I will definitely sub a 5 minute mile this year, even though I have done it last year, right? But this year, I'm planning to beat my PR on last year, which is not gonna be an easy thing, but I think it's very accomplishable. And who knows, man? I may throw down a sub 3 hour marathon. Well, that's crazy, right? Yeah, if you guys don't know how fast a 3 hour marathon is, it's just right under the 7 minute mile pace for just 26 miles. Well, in fact, you definitely have to sub a 7 minute mile for sure. But it was actually a 6:52 minutes per mile, for like 3 hours, or called 26.22 miles. I feel like I'm making a lot more accomplishment. And I don't know what else, good things is gonna happen. Like, there's one thing I forgot to mention, like why 2021 will be the best year ever. It's possibly because the pandemic is possibly gonna end by let's say late of this year, not even 2022. Yeah, the vaccinations are getting distributed like crazy. 1.7 million Americans gets vaccinated every single day. So when I watch, by the time it's March of this year, and I already see like 77 million, let's say American got vaccinated, right? That's just, in US alone. So I say that nearly a quarter billion people, yeah, like 250 million people are already, vaccinated, right? The distribution gets faster and faster, and I'm pretty sure like by the end of this year, maybe like 25% of the human population are not going to get vaccinated. So that means the global pandemic is going to end, very soon. Yeah, many people are very happy, when they hear about this, like, life is returning back to normal and stuff. They're getting sick and tired, being quarantined, having, very limited things to do. They are just struggling. Yeah, lots of people, are struggling, this year, and also they're not gonna have, and also the death rate is not gonna go any higher, which is a good thing, because I see that there are so many cases in the last few months of 2020, but then when we get to like March, February of 2021, then the cases and death rate has significantly dropped, because that vaccination does save a life. And I think like eventually, because so many people vaccinated, like now, like restrictions are getting lifted, the lockdowns are getting lifted, all that sorts of stuff, right? And this is how, a lot more people are getting their jobs back, right? It looks like the unemployment, it's dropping down, like all the bad things are suddenly disappearing, this year, right? Man, this year, like, I thought, like, I was sub a 5 minute mile, even before we get to March, but I think I attempted, a mile trial, on the last 2 days of February, and I got, like, a 5:10, so every time, if my mile time gets slowed by, like, a few seconds, I always want to see, like, why am I slowing down? Like, I always look at I get like a little like a magnifying glass to see to see the real reason, like why my body's slowing down, like why am I over fatigued, like am I keeping myself healthy, am I training something wrong? But No, maybe I just do more, easier training to build my volume. I continue to build my volume, and I want to make a very big apology to YouTube, saying that I have not been using this YouTube channel, a lot lately, even though I have a lot of free time. But hey, if things gets much better, then I'll start making, YouTube vlog and possibly get more subscriber. Like I said, it's not the end of the world. With the people who keep thinking negative things that 2020 is the end of the world, but it's not, man. Like, it's still, to be honest, it's still just the beginning, right? I mean, if you make mistake and if you don't get what you want, then you can just, still improve, Remember, man, remember like how to become successful, right? All that negativity that was sent to you, all that people, that hate you or something like that, I definitely, all that negativity and hates, man, that people say you can't do this, you can't do that, you're too immature, you can never accomplish your, but don't think like that, no. If you keep believing yourself, if you keep thinking positively, then you will exceed more than you think, right? That's exactly what happened to me, right? I'm talking about years ago, like thinking that I will not be this good, as of today, but because I keep thinking positive, because I keep getting, loves and support, and this is how, I, exceed, lots of my, expectations, right? But guys, this is just the beginning. Why are you keep saying this is just the beginning? It's just the beginning. Well, think of this, man, like, you look how young I am, right? I'm only like 22 years old, right? I mean, people don't be gone, until like 70, 80. This is a typical life expectancy. It's like around age 70 to age 80. So think of this. I'm only 22 years old, and I'm still only going to get better from here on, right? If I keep getting better and better and better, and soon, I can improve the quality of this video. I can make lots of improvement on anything. 50 years is a long time, man. I will not be gone for, into 50 years if nothing goes wrong, right? But yeah, I mean, start your goal now, don't stink and wait, because if you wait, you're not gonna, have enough time, to make accomplishment yet. Making accomplishment and being your goals, takes a lot of time. But then, when you keep accomplishing your goals, in life, as a common sense, then you keep motivating yourself to get better and better and better. And it's okay if you make mistake, or sometimes you have to make repeat mistake, right? Once you realize you see mistake, just like fix it right away, don't wait, because if you keep making the same mistake over and over again, like soon you'll like, it's just like you're on a train, like you keep hitting, the wrong path, and soon, like, there you're gonna collapse, right? Because when you go further and into the wrong direction, then it's so hard to return back, right? So yeah, man, as long as it's okay to make mistakes, but as long as you don't repeat them or turn that into a habit, then you should be okay, right? Whenever you see, I'm just saying, man, whenever you see problems and whenever it makes you feel uncomfortable, just just stop the problem and solve it as soon as possible. Just don't wait around. Like, yeah, like, life is just too limited. But yeah, if I don't get anything big accomplishment done in 2021, it's still not the end. I have a long way to go. So for the first thing I need to do is, before I want to do anything else, the first thing is that I need to take care of myself, right? And make sure, I'm doing a very good job, when I have a job. When I have a job, I want to make sure I'm doing very good, because if I get these two main tasks done, then I can do anything else, right? I can like upload lots of more YouTube for you guys, which you need it. I know that lots of people are unsubscribing because I've been very lazy on YouTube, which is, very unacceptable. But yeah, man, I mean, the thing is that if I keep putting, hard work into YouTube, and gain more audience, making very good video quality, putting more effort into YouTube, then soon, I can make money off of YouTube too. So it's just like how much effort you put into, right? So just imagine, like you have, so many years, living, in this world, right? You just don't want to be the same person over and over again. It gets tiring, right? You have to try something new, step out your boundary. Like I said, this year is going to be a good year, so it encourage a lot more people, to step out their boundary because restrictions are getting, removed. Step out your, boundary, just keep growing, Don't stay the same, man. Okay? Every day, every day is your day, man. Use something, to make yourself better, to try and learn something new, So that way, you can just keep growing, more than you think, right? Because if you just sit here, doing, nothing, then you get nothing. If you do something good and you do something, very useful, then you will get good things returned back to you, right? Yeah, there's just a lots of time, left on, or a very limited time, so just use that time, for useful thing, Right, James, right? Yeah, I know that it's only been like a little over 2 months into this year, and I got a feeling like, things are just keep getting better and better. Yeah, and hopefully, this year is so good that I just make up, for the past year that I didn't do well, or I technically hate, right? I know that I've been, the last 5 years, my life was pretty much hell, and now, like once we step in, to 2021, like definitely, it's not going to be the same as 2020, which is good. And hopefully, like I said, man, like here is what I learned from 2020. The one thing I learned from 2020 is that life is not always perfect, and you cannot always get what you want, right? Yeah, life is like roller coaster. You always, have, very good time. You always have, very struggling time. And if you struggle and if you see the mistake that you see, like try to learn from it. That's what humans are like. They learn from it. They get stronger. They keep pushing. Get better and better, right? That's what, this is why, history is important to learn, right? Just to know, like, what past mistake, other people make, so that way you don't do it again, in the future, and that way you don't ruin your reputation, right? Yeah, because I remember, like, exactly, 100 years ago, we have, like that around, like this Great Depression thing, right? Yeah, we're all, big businesses, where unemployment rate is 25%, so the unemployment rate as of today is not 25%. You can just look it up. It's probably, way less than that. But yeah, man, I just have to I have to understand that, life cannot be perfect, right? We just have to learn to adapt to it. So if you learn to, to adapt, to like goods and bad things, then you can live happily, right? I'm just teaching you these, simple technique. Well, I'm not an expert, but you can learn from, what I say from this video, right? So I want to end off the video here, and bye-bye, and hopefully this year, can make your life change, right?